So in my short time here on Earth, I've realized there are some things that you can do to completely fail in life. This one's the most important one, and needless to say, I do this way too often, and I fail all too often. So here's the one thing you can avoid to make sure you succeed, and if you do this every single day, I guarantee you will fail in life. Here it is. Rule 4. Notice that opportunity lurks where responsibility has been abdicated. All right, so the one thing you can do every single day that'll make you fail in life is avoid responsibility. Yes, I know this is very simple, and you've probably heard it from your parents your whole life, or if you haven't, here it is. If you avoid responsibility every day of your life, you'll sleep in, you'll eat Cheetos, you'll sit and watch TV, and you won't do anything. However, taking on responsibility and the meaning and opportunity that comes from taking on the responsibility is where, I don't know, satisfaction happens in life. It's where I find the most satisfaction. The more responsibility I take on, the more and more joy and happiness I have in my life. It's a very odd dynamic there, but I promise you, it works. It is a strange and paradoxical fact that there is a reciprocal relationship between the worth of something and the difficulty of accomplishing it. Now, let me ask you this. Did you feel really awesome about yourself and about life today after you brushed your teeth? How about after tying your shoes? Wasn't there just a huge mountaintop experience? Well, the answer is no. And the answer is no because there's no difficulty in that. Now, conversely, how about when you graduated college? When you finally had to muster up the courage to ask the girl or boy or guy out? How about when you had a very, very important part of life that took a lot of effort? The reality is, the harder something takes, the more difficult something is, the more meaning it probably has to your life. I don't know many people who would say, tying my shoes every morning, it makes me really, really feel like I'm on top of the world. Because that's not reality. That's simply not reality. And I know plenty of people who have romantic relationships, marriages, children, vocations, jobs, where they say, man, I put so much effort into this, and it actually panned out. Not to say everything pans out that you work on, it simply doesn't. That's just a fact. But the more effort you put into something, it is totally there, as in, you put more effort into something, it's going to give you more satisfaction and joy in life. Tying your shoes this morning probably didn't give you a ton of satisfaction. As long as you don't trip, right? The things in life that are worthwhile, it simply take a ton of work, a ton of grit, and a ton of effort. I have yet to find an exception of this. And if you know of an exception, please comment below. I want to do it. Because if I can feel satisfaction, especially something that doesn't take responsibility, I will do that all the time, man. You must sacrifice something of your manifold potential in exchange for something real in life. Aim at something, discipline yourself, or suffer the consequence. And what is that consequence? All the suffering of life with none of the meaning. Is there a better description of hell? Life is usually mundane, no spice, and very boring. That's just life. And add a little suffering on top of that, that's pretty much life. Our whole entire human existence is suffering. Besides a tiny, tiny bit, out of a percentage, I would say it's probably about 5 to 10% of my life where it's complete bliss and complete joy. But that's really not what life is about. Life is about accomplishing things and accomplishing becoming a better person, serving your fellow man. That's where the joy comes from. That's where the satisfaction comes from. And at least aim at something, pursue it, and if you fail at it, at least you have the potential meaning from at least aiming at something and failing. If you don't aim at anything and don't go for it, then you're going to have all of life suffering without any of the meaning. And I can't think of a hell more hell-worthy than that. So the fact of the matter is, set a goal, aim, fire, and see if it happens. And if it doesn't, that's okay. That just means you now have valuable feedback, so the next time you aim and take a shot, you can use that feedback, continue move forward. That's what it's all about. The only time you ever actually fail is when you stop. Now, speed bumps in the way happen to everybody, no matter who you are. Speed bumps are here for every single person on the face of the earth. You are not alone. I've had probably 10 speed bumps just this morning. They're there for everybody, and they will happen to you no matter what. However, you're way stronger than you think, and you can definitely overcome these speed bumps. And believe me, I don't say this because I've conquered all speed bumps easily in my life. I say it because I'm looking in the camera, but I'm also facing myself saying, you are stronger and you can accomplish it. It's a fact. Do it. Even under the best of all conceivable circumstances, almost insuperable obstacles will emerge and obstruct your path. The encouragement? You will have the opportunity to reveal yourself as much stronger and more competent than you might imagine. You probably have put yourself in such a tiny little box that you don't even know what you actually can accomplish, because I can't, I won't, I don't. Eliminate that. Especially I can't. Says who? Society? Your mother? Your father? Your significant other? Your siblings? Your friends? If any of that's the case, then you really need to figure out who's going to be in your life that's going to help you accomplish things you want to accomplish. But where does that limiting belief come from? I don't encourage going way back and figuring that out, although that might be useful. I had to figure it out. But figuring out why you have that limiting belief, and then figuring out that, actually, you can accomplish so much more than you actually believe. And you're so much more strong and competent than you actually believe. When I figured that out, it feels like the heavens and the clouds came apart and said, Max, you can do this. You will do this, and you shall do it. And you should. There's a lot of shoulds in life. Like, should you wake up early and go to the gym? Yeah, probably. Do you think you can do it? Sometimes not. But the reality is you can almost every single time. The excuses, though, are in the thousands in my life specifically. The most success you're going to have in life is when you break that perceived vision of yourself, that very, very boxed in, I can't do anything, break it wide open, and then you will have so much more success in life. Because if you believe you can't, you're right. Conversely though, if you believe you can, you also are right. I bet you would surprise yourself. Next time you have something difficult and you feel as though you're going to shy away, stop, think about this. Can I actually do this? Maybe I can do it? Well, if the answer is maybe, go for it. I bet you will be surprised by your strength and your competence in whatever area it is. Just do it and see what happens. This is courage itself, the refusal to shrink from what makes itself known, no matter how terrible it seems. Keep moving forward. Even when you see the adversity, that is life. The man above, or whatever you believe in, is giving you feedback and saying you are on the right path. Where there are speed bumps, where there is adversity, where there are difficulties, that's where you will find meaning and satisfaction. So if you see those, and you're experiencing those, that's just the world giving you feedback that you're going in the right direction. If you guys are enjoying this so far, please like, subscribe, and comment. The question of the day is, what responsibility do you need to take right now in your life? I need to finish up this video. That's my responsibility. What's yours? Comment right now. There is the you now, and the you tomorrow, and the you next week, and next year, and in 5 years, and in a decade. And you are required by harsh necessity to take all of those yous into account. Think about yourself 10 years ago. Did you think you were going to be where you are in life right this moment? Or even better, think about what you wanted in life 10 years ago. Is it the same than today? I'm going to bet definitely not. Although it's really difficult to figure out what the future you is going to want, you have to take that into account. Because if you don't, the impulsive you of today will do whatever feels right. Fall into nihilism and just do whatever has no meaning but feels good. Be a hedonist. And that's not obviously true. It's unlikely you're going to, perish today. Well, if you're young at least. It's unlikely this is going to be your last day. So what is the future you want? And then figure out what that is. And then once you can figure that out, act in accordance to that. Not what you want right this moment. Not what you want tomorrow. But how about on the long term? How about years from now? What do you actually want for your life? It's very difficult because there's so many urgent things that vie for our attention every single moment. We're always, working in our life. But how about you work on your life? Compared to the hustle and bustle every single day, think about, how about over the long term? What do I want? How do I accomplish that? If you answer that question, sit from that foundation and make your decisions today that coincide and reflect those decisions, what you want to be in the future. And the question is, who do I want to be in a decade? Not what do I want to accomplish, not what I want to have, because those are really secondary. You can have those possessions. That's really, really easy. Possessions come and go. But the who you are, the actual character that you develop, that is so much more worthwhile than anything you could ever have or anything you could ever accomplish on this earth. But who I actually am. A person of integrity, a wise person, a person who doesn't shirk responsibility, but pursues the dragon and does your best to slay that dragon. No happiness in the absence of responsibility, no valuable and valued goal, no positive emotion. Simply put, aim high, fire. If you stumble, experience the speed bumps, that is the world telling you you are on the right path. Those emotions, those negative emotions, are steering you on where your next step should be. Do not take that speed bump as something negative that you should totally move on or quit. Don't quit. Keep going. You need a worthwhile and difficult gift to have positive emotions. So I don't know about you, but I love positive emotions personally. If you want more of that, aim at that North Star and go for it. An idea begins to take shape. I am going to live my life properly. I am going to aim at the good. I am going to aim at the highest good I can possibly manage. Now, all the parts of you taking care of your future self are on board. You are all aimed in one direction. You are no longer a house divided against itself. You are standing solidly on a firm foundation. You are no longer so easy to dissuade or discourage. Your resolution trumps your nihilism and despair. The struggle you have had with your own tendency to doubt and dissimulate protects you against the unwarranted and cynical criticisms of others. There is a high goal, a mountain peak, a star that shines in the darkness, beckoning above the horizon. Its mere existence gives you hope, and that is the meaning without which you cannot live. The firm foundation is paramount. It's the foundation of everything. The reality is, though, once you start wanting to improve your life, depending upon who's around you, hopefully you have everyone who encourages you, but that's reality. That's not reality, usually. There's going to be people who are saying things like, wow, aren't you so much better than us? Aren't you so much better because you want to improve yourself, because you want to do this, because you want to accomplish this? What about who you were? What about who you were? What about what you did that time? Or how you were back then? That is complete poison. That you must eliminate from your life. I don't know what that is, but I've had to eliminate close people in my life simply because there's poison. Poison, poison, poison. And rule 3, I forget. One of the rules of the last book was make friends with those who want the best for you or who want good for you. You have to really, really be careful on who you share news with, because the reality is you have to figure out who that is, and then they become your inner circle, nobody else. But the reality is every single human is going to fail you at some point. Every single one, no matter who they are. You have to figure out how you're going to build the foundation of yourself so you're not easily discouraged and you can lean on yourself. Not anyone else. Not any other human. Every single human is going to, in a sense, do you wrong. It's a fact. So you have to figure out how to become very resilient and very strong. And I bet you right now you already have the tools. It's just a matter of actually doing it. And being uncomfortable, or the people who are poison in your life, maybe you need to cut them out. Maybe you need to limit them. Limit their influence in your life. Because once you have that firm foundation and start building, it's very, very, very difficult to change someone's mind about that. Once someone has encouragement and once someone has confidence in their life, once someone really knows and is acting authentically who they are, you can't discourage them. It's just more noise that the person ignores and moves on. I'm not perfect by any means, but I've created a foundation in my life where there's neither relative, neither human, neither speed bump, and not even myself at this point can stop the good that I'm going to continue doing in my life. I figured out what the North Star is. I'm aiming, and I'm going after it. What is your North Star? What is the antidote to the suffering and malevolence of life? The highest possible goal. What is the prerequisite to pursuit of the highest possible goal? Willingness to adopt the maximum degree of responsibility. And this includes the responsibilities that others disregard or neglect. Now, I don't know how many responsibilities people disregard and neglect. That's pretty much all of them. It's very difficult to find anyone, but when you find them, the person who actually takes responsibility for everything they do, they take extreme ownership. That is what we're talking about. Find the North Star. Find the one thing that's going to get you excited every single day to continue going forward. Find it, find it, find it, find it. Take aim and fire. My North Star is helping 1 million people improve themselves personally and financially. You have to figure out what your North Star is. And I encourage you to find out what that is.